FFA chapter in studio right now as part of National FFA Week. Let's go ahead and let them introduce themselves, starting with on the left. Tell me your name, your school, and your officer title if you have one.
My name is Michaela Thompson, and I'm just a member. I'm a sophomore in high school.
And off to the middle here, your name, you're in school, officer title, and you.
My name is Clayton Wojcik. I'm a junior, and I'm the vice president.
And off to the right.
My name is Ralph Thompson. I'm a senior, and I am the Cowden-Herrick FFA chapter president.
When were you elected president, Ralph?
About April of 2022, so about a year now.
This is a full year of the cycle, and okay, I want to get into a little bit more on what you're planning, but we're gonna hold off on that in a moment. We're gonna work down the list a little bit. When were you? Same deal for all of you. Were you, or as far as you as vice president, were you elected last April?
Yes.
Okay, so the first year for that. What else have you done in your role or roles as FFA? Secretary, anything else, or were you a member last year?
I was a reporter for a year.
That's what I was kind of going at.
Yeah.
And I understand, Michaela, you're just a member, and that's all right. Do you have any ideas for what you want to do as part of FFA through the next couple of years?
Hopefully, I'll run for an office next year, and hopefully I can get one.
Do you have any ideas of what you're looking at? Not yet. That's okay. You still got a couple of months. Elections are in April, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you still got a long time.
Yeah.
Ralph, tell me about your experience in FFA. What have you, in your capacity as an officer, been able to do?
So just my officer duties or like my whole...
Well, we'll start with officer duties because I'm sure there's more we could get into for that.
Yeah, well, my first time as an officer was last year. I've served as our chapter treasurer.
Okay.
And then shortly before I was elected as our chapter president, I ran and I got our section treasurer position. And now I'm chapter president. You know, I've ran meetings and been in charge of kind of officer team, getting things going, like FFA week coming up, you know, and choosing names and stuff like that.
I can imagine what the vice president does, but what does a reporter do?
It lets everybody know what's going on with the chapter.
Okay, so kind of like a publicist in a way,
right?
Like letting everyone know all the events for that FFA. So what will your involvement be as president? I understand the elections are coming up in April, and you're a senior, so you're kind of like, what's the role like when you guys are elected new president and you're finishing out the rest of your year from like April to mid-May when you finish school?
So, I mean, it's just like balancing it with anything else or whatever. You're in charge of getting the meetings going or like scheduling meetings and running the officer team. I mean, you got the rest of the officers to kind of help you out with stuff. I've said it's definitely been busy balancing the two together, but
yeah,
it's possible.
I guess, how does that role change after the April elections? If it does at all.
You mean my role as president?
Yeah, as president, because you're going to be electing another president. I'm sure you'll be mentoring that president a little bit.
After the April elections, I mean, yeah, you'll give them advice or whatever and kind of help them out get started or whatever. But mostly after the elections, your duties are mostly done.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So you're just kind of hanging back a little bit.
Yeah, you just kind of hang back after the election.
You're there for advice in a way.
Yeah.
Okay. You look forward to that at all, or is it kind of bittersweet that your time is coming to an end?
A little bit of both. It'll be nice to have the responsibility off the shoulders, but I'll miss it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I ran for it for a reason.
I'm sure. What are you expecting here, Clayton, for next year? I know you're vice president. Do you have aspirations to be president next year?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It sounds like you've had a pretty good experience as vice president. Do you think you'll run for vice president again next year then?
Possibly.
For this April election for next year,
right,
is what I mean by that. And we've already talked to Michaela about kind of what you're thinking about for next year, maybe. So what, as FFA members at Cowden-Herrick, we'll start off with Michaela. What does it mean to you to be a part of Cowden-Herrick FFA? You know what? Let's start over to the right. Maybe we can think over that. Ralph, what does it mean to you to be part of a Cowden-Herrick FFA?
Well, I've always went to Cowden-Herrick. I like Cowden-Herrick. Get to go to all the different contests and stuff like that. Nothing necessarily special about Cowden-Herrick FFA. I mean, nothing. I don't know. I've never been in any other FFA, so I can't tell you what the other FFAs are like. But I've said it's been real good about teaching me different responsibility and leadership skills I feel like I can use.
That was a really good save. I like that, Ralph. I'm going to use that. Clayton, what does being a part of Cowden-Herrick FFA mean to you?
Well, of course, my dad's an ag teacher, so I just get to show
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
teaches us. And
Michaela, what have you thought of an answer to that question yet? No, that's
Not
okay.
really.
We can move on. That's all right. Michaela, what would you recommend to someone who is maybe thinking about FFA? Right, they're kind of thinking about it, but they're just something's stopping them. They're sitting on the fence a little bit. What would you say to that person?
Just do it. You'll have fun.
And why do you feel that way?
Because I've been to like multiple contests and I might not be good at them, but like I enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, right? It's not about necessarily. I mean, you want to be good at whatever it is you're doing, right? But you're having fun.
Yeah.
And you're learning. Do you feel like you've learned a lot since you've joined FFA?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, out of your experiences, what is something that you value the most? Like, what's one thing that you could say to somebody that's like, I learned how to do this a lot better than if I didn't join? If you could think of one thing.
Let me keep thinking. Come
Okay.
back to me.
All right, we will. Clayton, as what would you recommend? What would you tell another student who's on the fence about joining FFA?
You get to skip school.
Do you guys have school today, by the way?
No, we
No.
don't.
I got the
Okay,
day
well,
off.
Well, thanks for coming in on your day off today. I did talk to one chapter who has school today, and I was like, oh, really? You
Wow,
have school?
dang.
I know.
That's
Apparently,
dang.
they got the Monday after the Super Bowl off, though, instead. So,
At least they get the day off.
Right,
To go
right.
here.
right, that too, of course. And same question to you, Ralph. What would you say to somebody who is on the fence about joining FFA?
I'll tell them join. I'd say do it. It's a lot of fun. You know, you get to go to a different contest, got to miss school. You get to make new friends. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Missing school sounds like a great angle to pitch somebody who is.
Definitely.
I get to miss school.
It's really convincing, I think.
I think so too. So, Ralph, what are some of your plans after you graduate high school?
So I plan to go to Lakeland College. I'm going to try to be an accountant, but then I also want to farm on the side, so do a little bit of both. It's kind of
And accountant, you can account for anything really. I mean, farm, ag related, non-ag related.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see yourself being kind of an accountant for an ag related business?
Yeah, or like CPAs, what I kind of want to do. So do like different taxes for farmers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Definitely want to stay involved in agriculture no matter what, though.
Right. But also being an accountant allows you to branch out too.
Yeah. So then I got different options if that, don't work out.
Best of both worlds. That's
That's right.
fantastic. Clayton, I know you're a junior, but you're kind of getting to that point where you're thinking about
Right.
after school plans. So what are you thinking right now?
Well, it's kind of undecided, but more than likely go for a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything in particular that attracts you at this time?
Welding.
You like welding?
Yeah.
I've known a couple of people who have been underwater welders. I'm
Right.
not recommending that to you because it's very dangerous, but it pays very well.
Right.
Anyway, I'm recommending it without recommending it. Let's put it that way. Michaela, I know you're a sophomore. Do you have any plans or aspirations beyond high school?
Not really.
Not at this time.
Yeah.
That's
Go
okay.
with the flow.
That's a very sophomore answer. I'll give you that. How do you feel though that Michaela being a part of FFA will help you in the next stage of your life, whatever that is?
It's given me a lot of skills that I can use for like the future and stuff.
And that's always very helpful. And Clayton, same question to you. How will being the vice president specifically of the Cowden-Herrick FFA help you into maybe welding or whatever it is that you decide to do in the trades?
I think it definitely just helps you with leadership. Just
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ralph, same question. Being president and all your other experiences of FFA, how do you think that's going to help you as you continue on your journey to potentially being an accountant?
So I think FFA has given me a lot of opportunities to make a lot of friends and connections and whatever that might be able to help me out later down the road. Different people like, hey, I know Ralph. Maybe I'll use him as an accountant or something like that. And like FFA, I got my state degree or whatever. And I think that's kind of stuff looks good on resumes or whatever when you've served different leadership positions and resumes, scholarships, all that. They like having that kind of stuff on there.
I'm not familiar with the state degree thing. Can you fill me in on that, Ralph?
So state degree, you keep an FFA, you keep a record book normally on some kind of project or whatever. I did a diversified crop, and I had like 12 acres of land I farmed. So you keep different records throughout your years in high school. And then you have to meet certain stipulations like monetary requirements, community service, stuff like that. And then they'll award it based on how well you know. You do an interview or whatever for it as well.
And so you've received that kind of certification.
I've received it, yeah.
Fantastic. And that's another example of what FFA can do for you or anybody else. I want to talk a little bit about some of your trips that you've had the opportunity to take, but we have to take a quick time out. Be back in just a moment. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. And you'll find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. You're here with Cowden-Herrick School District FFA. That includes sophomore Michaela Thompson, junior and vice president Clayton Wojcik, and senior and president Ralph Thompson. Here on the WTIM morning show right here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. Check the markets on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLawes Yankee. No trading for the regular session because of President's Day. We'll be back at it tonight. Last week, March corn was down 2 3/4. December down 1/4 cent. March soybeans down 15 1/4. And November up 7 1/2. Thursday and Friday were both awfully quiet. Friday, March corn was up 1 3/4, 677 3/4. July up 2, 666. March soybeans up 3/4, 1527 1/4. July up 1 1/2, 1514 1/2. March wheat up 1/2, 765 1/2. Kansas City up 8, 906 1/2. April lean hogs Friday dropped 50 cents, 85.27. April live cattle up 57, 164.65. March feeders up 30, 186.52. This is the RFD Radio Network.
Americans care about the environment. We know that farmers do too. Your Illinois Corn Checkoff dollars are connecting those shared values via Illinois Farm Families, an Illinois ag coalition that produces videos for non-farmers showcasing your sustainability practices. We also highlight innovative farm management techniques and renewable products produced with Illinois corn. Farmers grow food and fuel. Your checkoff grows connection and knowledge. A message from the Illinois Corn Marketing Board.
This is Darian Norville with Central Commodity FS bringing you What's Next. And here at FS, we believe that is supporting agriculture's bright future. So happy National FFA Week to all past, present, and future agriculture professionals whose success sprouted from their local chapter. Best wishes from your proud supporters at Central Commodity Farmers Supply Company.
For growers like you, this is more than a profession. It's a way of life, a generational calling wrapped in community pride. First Mid is a trusted financial partner with comprehensive agribusiness services like lending and insurance. As your ownership or operational needs evolve, you can turn to us for farm management and land sales. We are committed to helping you cultivate a better tomorrow because, like you, we're not merely invested in the success of your operation, we're homegrown. First Mid, an equal opportunity lender.
Craig's Realtors continues to be the market leader in 2022 with more property sold than anyone else. Owner Steve Craig's here, and we'd love to go to work for you. Find out how by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station. WTIM.
It's the WTIM morning show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. Again, you'll find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. Cowden-Herrick School District FFA is in studio right now. That includes member and sophomore Michaela Thompson, along with junior and vice president Clayton Wojcik, and senior and president Ralph Thompson here on the WTIM morning show. Before we went to break, we talked all about some of the great things that FFA has to offer through Cowden-Herrick. One of the things you guys do, you guys take a lot of trips, you compete in a lot of events. I understand quite a few people went to the National FFA convention in Indianapolis. Raise your hand. Who went? Yeah, these two? Okay, we'll start with Ralph. What did you think this year? I understand it was pretty packed.
Oh yeah, it was really fun. It was a lot of fun. All the conventions and stuff. We went to a golf tour. We hit some golf balls at this. I don't know what the place was called. It was some kind of Top Golf area.
I know what you're kind of talking about.
Yeah. It's real fun.
When you go to the FFA convention in Indianapolis, what's your favorite thing about it, Ralph?
My favorite thing about it? Well, I'm going to try to stay away from the 3 days off of school, that part. Getting to meet all the different people from different states and stuff. I thought that was really cool. You get to see people from Wisconsin, California, places, kids that you don't normally get to see. It's really cool.
Great connection opportunity.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Clayton, what did you enjoy about the National FFA convention in Indianapolis?
Definitely meeting new people. Yeah, I met somebody from Puerto Rico. Like, it was awesome.
Did you expect that at all?
Oh no.
No. I mean, I have no idea, but what were some of the things that they farm? Did they talk about that when you met that person? No, that's okay.
No.
I didn't get that far in the conversation. I get it.
No.
Michaela, have you had a chance to go to the FFA convention before?
I signed up for it, but I didn't.
Just didn't get to go this year.
I didn't get to go.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you'll get a chance to in the future. Mark, right? Dave. I even did it off air. And Dave, what do you feel going to the FFA convention in Indianapolis offers these students?
Well, I think the opportunity to see, especially around Indianapolis, some of the other things like Ralph mentioned, we went on a tour of the golf course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and got to see how they operate the grounds crews and that there. They get to go to the career show and see all the different colleges and different career opportunities that are available to them. And then just simply being around FFA members from all over the country. I mean, there's 70,000 FFA members swarming around Indianapolis for 3, 4, 5 days. And you just get the chance to talk to those kids and see what, life is like in Oregon and all those opportunities just to see how you're similar, yet how much different you really are from one place in the U.S. to another. So
a different perspective.
Oh yeah.
Big time. By the way, Dave Wojcik is the advisor. I haven't introduced him here because he's been kind of lingering off camera, letting the students do a lot of the work, but appreciate the advisor's insight into what the National FFA convention does. Outside of taking a lot of trips, you guys compete and show a lot of stuff. We'll start off to the right. Ralph, what is it that you have had the opportunity to do over your 4 years? And maybe not, I'm sure it's a lot. So maybe take one or two of your favorites that you've had the opportunity to show or compete in.
So I really like dairy food judging. You get to go and taste test different cheeses and milks and stuff like that. I really like dairy stuff. Poultry judging, I really liked it. You judge the different chickens based on how well they lay. You grade the eggs, do stuff like that. I also really like the FFA fair. It's normally around August, but I think this year they had it around June or July. They had it in the summer this year. I've showed goats at it before. Signed up to show chickens, but it was virtual. They didn't have us bring the chickens because they were having the bird flu go on. So I just made a poster board or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say those are probably some of my favorite things. Other than the conventions, national convention, state convention.
Yeah, absolutely. Clayton, what have been some of your favorite opportunities in FFA as a whole?
I really love dairy cattle judging, and then livestock judging too. So
when you judge dairy cows, is that the same kind of cheese tasting, or is
No.
what's different?
You're gonna judge them on the body and the milkers.
Oh, okay, the udders, the milkers. Clayton, you're funny. I like you, man. Michaela, over your year and a half in FFA or so, what have been some of your favorite opportunities?
Really liked horse judging, mainly my first year because I did pretty good at it. Second year, not too well, but it was still fun. I liked the livestock fair. We showed goats and chickens in it. That's
that's pretty good. Well, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you guys so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank
That's Cowden-Herrick FFA here on the WTIM Morning Show.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.